Here's a very interesting question. Why do men leave women they love? Wow. My name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. I'm going to take you through this in a way that not to satisfy your curiosity, but clearly this is happening to you, and I want to help you bring your husband back. It's possible. One of the biggest problems that we have is that we don't learn anything about marriage growing up. Did you? Did you have a class on relationships and marriage? No, we learn all these, I don't want to say irrelevant things. Some of these things that we learn in school are useful, but the most useful is left off the table. People are afraid to handle it. And they're afraid to handle it because they don't know about marriage. I used to be a divorce mediator. I've only been helping couples with their marriages for 20 plus years. Before that, I used to help people with their divorce. Terrible. But I made the shift because I decided to learn how to save marriages. And this question that you have, why would my husband leave me if he loves me? I don't know how many times I heard a man say, I love her, but not the way I used to. The love has just faded. And I am wondering why. So I know the answer. Let's get into this. We have lost the appreciation of what love really is. We have, generally speaking, ended up calling it an emotion. But it isn't, in a true sense, an emotion. In a true sense, love is essentially what you are. You're a soul. And when you get married, you marry your soul mate. And the whole idea of marriage is to learn how to love each other unconditionally, because that's the true nature of the soul. It's unconditional love. But what happens? Because we live in a very material world, we live our lives on a material plane, and then we start living our marriage on a material plane. And we bring our problems that we're supposed to face together with our husband or our wife, we allow that problem to come between us. We argue over things. We don't discuss. We argue. We criticize each other, don't we? We complain to each other about each other's flaws, big and little. In other words, what we do is we take ourselves out of love in terms of our behavior, and we live in our behavior of, I call it overfamiliarity, which really means we take each other for granted. And what happened to the love? What happened to the love that bound you? The reason you got married in the first place was for happiness and love, to learn to love unconditionally, but you didn't behave that way with your husband. He does still love you, but he left you because he couldn't take it anymore. We don't learn how to even know what I just talked about. We don't learn that. Now, when you subscribe to this channel, you'll learn about it like crazy. And if you get the products that we offer at the Marriage Foundation, you'll learn about it. But otherwise, it's not out there in the world. And it's important. So does your husband still love you? Why does he leave you if he loves you? Because you're not demonstrating your love for him. And he got married to you because he had that expectation. You can easily say, he didn't treat me any better. I know. No one treats each other well until they learn how to be married. You treat each other terribly. All of us did that. I did it too before I really did the research and started learning about what is involved. Marriage is amazing because it functions at this very high level. We're human beings. You know, as a human being, our expectation should be to be happy all the time. It should be. What it shouldn't be is we shouldn't expect the happiness to come from outer conditions. It's within us, but we don't learn how to tap into that happiness. You know, you get all these memes, you know, Buddha said, what's his name said, all these people say all these wonderful things. Love is within. Happiness is within. But we don't learn how to tap into it. So I teach it now. You could get the course that we have. You could read my books. But it's there. You need to know how to do it. And don't blame your parents. Don't blame the teachers. Don't blame society. It's no one's fault. You can't teach something you don't know. So the Marriage Foundation is at the cutting edge. We're a trailblazer with this information. It's okay. Someone had to do it. I'm not arrogant about it. I just happened to choose to get into this marriage business. I used to be a divorce mediator, for God's sakes. And I realized it's not cool to get a divorce. It's very rare that one should leave their husband or leave their wife. But we have to learn. We have to get educated. It's on you to do that. Can you bring your husband back? That's really the question, isn't it? Don't just be curious. Why would he leave me if he loves me? Don't just be curious. You have free will. You have the power not to change him, not to change his mind, but to change yourself. So look at it this way. He started to see you as a criticism-filled person, as a complaining person, as a sourpuss. You don't smile at him. You don't tell him how much you love him. He ran away from that. But if you become the golden angel of love, and there's no reason why you shouldn't. Should you do it just to please him? No, you should do it because that's your true nature. Become that which you already are, instead of what you have become to get along in a world that is very competitive and harsh. Your marriage is not the same as the world. Never was meant to be. But you brought all of your skills for getting along in the world into your marriage, well, maybe except for being polite, caring, considerate. Don't just be curious. Understand why he left. Has nothing to do with love. He left because he couldn't handle what was coming at him all the time. Now, if you go, oh, I could change my behavior. No, you can't. You can, but not from the outside in. You have to change your thinking. You have to be calm. And you can do that. Thousands and thousands of people have taken our courses and have done that, and you can too. Don't give up. You have the greatest savior right within you. It's called free will. Free will. All right. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Thank you for spending time with me. I'd love to hear from you. God bless and take care. Don't give up. Don't give up. You have your whole life in front of you. Take care.